Greetings and welcome to PJ's Kitchen. My name is Peter James from the website peterjamesx.com with the Babylon Report. Yes, we do have a website with many supporting documents, and we will say this at the beginning of our videos because some don't seem to realize that there is an extensive website. Well, we are producing this evening the Babylon Report, which is what we call our videos, and this evening we are dealing with a subject called I will not hear, says God. This is a very, very sobering subject. You know, there are some words that we do not want to hear the Eternal say. And I'm going to first of all look at some of these words. The first one is in Matthew chapter 22. It says, this is referring to the wedding feast, and when the king came in to see the guests, he saw there a man which had not on a wedding garment. And he said unto him, Friend, how camest thou in hither, not having a wedding garment? And he was speechless. Then said the king to the servants, and this is what we don't want to hear, Bind him hand and foot, and take him away, and cast him into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. For many are called, but few are chosen. Some people are going to hear that. In Jeremiah chapter 21, verses 4 and 5 says, Thus saith the Lord God of Israel, Behold, I will turn back the weapons of war that are in your hands, wherewith ye fight against the king of Babylon, and against the Chaldeans, which besiege you without the walls. And I will assemble them in the midst of this city. So God was going to fight with the king of Babylon against the nation of Israel. And this is what we don't want to hear. And I myself will fight against you with an outstretched hand and with a strong arm, even in anger and in fury and in great wrath. I myself will fight against you. This is the eternal, all-powerful God saying this. With an outstretched hand and with a strong arm, even in anger and in fury and in great wrath. What do you think of the cyclone, the hurricane, same thing, in Burma? I would say there was anger and fury and great wrath. What do you think of the earthquake yesterday in China, 7.8? Thousands in both incidents, thousands and thousands of people have been killed. But you know, in both of those cases, those are nations given up to idolatry. In the news reports on Burma, I saw one set of pictures, 10 pictures. I didn't bring them down with me. You probably have seen them. And it was interesting that the reason for this cyclone could clearly be seen. There were the Buddhas there, the giant statues in front of the temples, the gold-top temples, some of them underwater, the Buddhist priests. All those people who died weren't evil. They really weren't. But we have reached the point now where God is going to start cleansing the earth. And He's not going to hear. He's told us so, because we are in total rebellion. Another set of words we don't want to hear, Mark 14:21. This is referring to Judas. It says, The Son of Man indeed goeth, as it is written of him, but woe to that man by whom the Son of Man is betrayed. This is what we don't want to hear. Good were it for that man if he had never been born. We don't want to hear the eternal God say that about us. Matthew 7:23, and then will I profess unto them, I never knew you. These are people who think that they are believers doing God's will. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity. In Matthew 25:41 it goes further. He says, depart from me, ye cursed, into everlasting fire, prepared for the devil and his angels. So there's, we've given you some of the words that you, whether you're a believer or an atheist, and we have got atheists looking at our site and making rude comments, but it makes no difference. You certainly don't want to hear the eternal God say any of those statements to you personally. But the reality is they will be stated to people who are now living. This subject came up simply because in the past few days a sister went through a very difficult experience, unexpected. She ran out of money, she ran out of food, and for 3 days she had nothing to eat. And for 3 days she asked God, what, have I done something wrong? Have I sinned? First day, no answer. Second day, no answer. After the third day she was told, no, you haven't done anything wrong. I'm just letting you experience what's going to happen in a big way, worldwide. People will call and I won't hear. I have chosen not to hear. And that is because of our rebellion. We keep talking about rebellion all the time. But now the chickens are coming home to roost. This is what we said. Jeremiah 22:21. God says, I spake unto thee in thy prosperity, but thou saidst, I will not hear. This hath been thy manner from thy youth, that thou obeyest not my voice. Throughout Jeremiah, you see God saying, I awakened early, sending my prophets to you, but you didn't listen. Over and over he says it. And here he's saying, it has been your manner from your youth not to obey my voice. So this is what God says in Proverbs 1:28, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. So you see, God has been saying in Jeremiah that he was rising early, sending his prophets out with the messages, and they wouldn't listen. They chose not to listen. But there will come a time when they will seek him early.